Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season. Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Broncos, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Wilson's throw here into the hands of Moore. Finding room at midfield. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Well, throw on first down with Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. First down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss. Now on 2nd and 13. Wilson. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play. Never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Broncos at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Uses the stiff arm, and he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 22 yards there, a first down. On the counter, here's Williams. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Carl Lawson make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. 4th down, Wilson trots off, and on comes Brandon McManus for the Denver field goal. The kick by McManus is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they were in field goal range last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. That time, Bradley Chubb shooting in there for the sack.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. They get 6 yards back on the run, but still have a 3rd and long situation forthcoming. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Draymond Jones in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw here into the hands of the receiver, Judy. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. A great job there, Charles, just to hold on, absorb that contact. I guess that's the risk you take catching the ball toward the middle of the field.
It is, and if you're going to gain yardage, you're going to have to go there at some point. But how about the read, okay? The eyes of that play, stepping out from the middle of the field and really making a big hit. Did not get free, but boy, that's a tough area to go into when you're going into his spot.
Now Wilson on first down. He's got the connection downfield to Hamler. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 32 on the play.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
The kick by McManus is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They are still in search of their first points of the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll have a Jets first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On first down, Wilson. Open man is Uzama. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. Straight ahead is Hall. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. That pass complete to Moore. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Here's Wilson to throw. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Zerline's kick is up and through, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Well, you normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ. Up the middle, it's Williams. And a short gain here, down to the 22. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go play action now. Wilson. This is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Albert O, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point from McManus is good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
This pass out wide to Hall. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Throwing is Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a first down. Play action. It's Wilson. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down. Now Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the gun, it's Wilson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's the Jets punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They begin the drive with Williams. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. They go play action with Wilson. Under pressure, and down he goes. Carl Lawson able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, this could start getting a little more interesting.
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Ball again on 2nd down. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Wilson. And check down, complete to Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He finds Corey Davis.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Wilson.
He dumps this one off here to Hall.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This from 54 yards away. Zerline's kick is up and through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a first down. They'll try and run down some clock with Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
C.J. Mosley getting to him behind the line of scrimmage there.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
So it's a gain of 12 there on the reception. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's got some space here. And all the way home for the Broncos score.
I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
And the Broncos will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At the 31-yard line.
Here's Williams to start the drive. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Williams going to get it again on second down.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pass to Houston, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but throw one to the big.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's...
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by DJ Reed. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. They're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Play action. Now Wilson. This is caught.
And the Jets are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. They'll run with Hall.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Zerline good with a PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And the Broncos are able to recover, and that should just about wrap this one up. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. They run it again with Williams. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
62 yards on the ground for him so far.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ballgame.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know.
We spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like big bitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records, yeah. Used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Game time in it. Game time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Game time. Run it up. 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 Run it up.